Hello guys, this is Ranger right here. I'm here to just show you some of the theories and ideas that I have involving with Genshin Impact's newest trailer or teaser that came out for the Teyvat chapter interlude, The God's Limits. From what I have heard, this is involving with the four shades which were appointed by the heavenly principles. And I'm pretty sure one of the shades is Asmodeus, who is the goddess of space, who is the main antagonist that appeared out that split the traveler siblings together from each other at the very beginning of the game. So some things that I just want to show you about is well, obviously right here. Yeah, these are like the four shades that are happening. It's life, time, death, and space. And so I'm pretty much interested in seeing how this is all going to happen. And let's see. Um, so a theory that I had is that we get introduced to the goddess of death's actual form right here. And I mean, as you can see right here, she has like, let me just see if I can get it real nice touch right here. Okay, right here. Um, in Inazuma, Raiden Shogun's statues that are for praying and all that stuff. She has these like wings that are around the goddess of death right here. I don't know if they're wings. I'm just gonna call them that. Um, and so, from what I have seen and read, and some of the theories that I have, I think that Raiden Shogun got some major influence and probably likes the goddess of death to a certain extent. Because in this trailer, we actually get told that goddess of death actually gave the curse of immortality to the people of or to some of the people of Conria. For example, just the Jester, Piero, Capitano, and Dainsleif. That's what I have been seeing so far in here. Well, as far as we know, we've seen only Piero in this, but I'm pretty sure the other two were also cursed by her as well. But a major influence right here. Not to mention, if I'm correct, I believe the goddess of death has some kind of power. This is just a theory and assumption. I believe that if she can give people immortalities, I'm pretty sure that she may have had some kind of special technique involving with souls as well, or something with the body. Um, and the soul separating, something that Yai, I think, taught Raiden Shogun or A to split her soul and her mind into a different space realm, um, and her body is no longer around. So that's something that could be a huge influence right there. Um, and right here, we have the goddess of life. And from what I have seen, I believe that one of the it's two different people. Like, it's not two different personas. Um, one of them is named Nibirius, and I don't remember exactly the name of the other person, but the two of them. Well, Nibirius was actually a part of the battle with the heavenly principles against the seven sovereigns. Um, and so the heavenly principles created the four shades, which were these four, and together they all, basically vanquished the seven sovereigns and had the seven nations submit to their authority. And so that's something that I found interesting, and I believe that one of them devoured the other, and then they went from two to one. So that's what's going on right here, as you can see. Like you clearly can tell it's like a different, she's like a digital, like a hologram or some sort, and they're not one together. And in this scene right here, they specifically talk about how Asmodeus may have switched sides because she has a master right now, which is very interesting because as far as we can say, everyone thought. I think most people thought that Asmodeus was the main antagonist, the big bad, the one that was pulling all the strings. But now that we find out that she has a master, changes everything, and that makes me also continue to believe that we're not going to end the Genshin Impact story with Conry. I think we're just going to continue going on. Don't know if it's Hoyoverse trying to drag the story, but it has something to do with the Master probably. Because if Asmodeus, who is the goddess of space, while she has her quote unquote three sisters, which is life, time, and death, whoever this Master is would maybe more convincing or more powerful than those four entirely, and they're masters of their own domain. So something to think about. But the goddess of time here actually makes a joke on how it's better to switch sides than to be devoured. I think that's what she said. That in itself is pretty important to know. Um, oh, the goddess of life said, not time, but as you can see right there. I think, well, as what this trailer has been saying, they've been appointed as the four shades by the heavenly principles. I think it's more of like the heavenly principles split into four of them. That could be very much well be the case. This right here is like one of the biggest aura farming I've ever seen. You'll be like, oh. Piero is such an aura farmer, just gazing up into the heavenly skies, seeing the goddesses. I mean, this guy hates her. Okay, she put a curse on Conria, a curse of immortality, and he most definitely hates her throughout the story, like it's being said. Oh, another thing that I found interesting is that her hands, the goddess of death's hands, they kind of remind me of Arlecchino's curse that she has on her hands. She has long claws. I don't know if that's by choice or long nails, but she also has that black hand that seems to be, you know, devouring her. We obviously saw in Arlecchino's story that it has something to do with either her bloodline or something like that, with something about the praising the moon, um, which may have some kind of correlation with the goddess of death right here. Because in the story, the goddess of death was basically known as the Night Lord of some sort, especially with their domain of eyes and the skies that somewhat to me represented a moon almost. He is such an aura farmer right here for that. So yeah, from what I'm seeing right here, obviously, Piero does not like the goddess of death, or even the heavenly principles. And so he wants to take them down with the Sarisa. And so this is for my own best judgment to assume that there's going to be a whole scheme that's going to be happening. And this is where my belief is involving with Hohenheim from Full Metal Alchemist has a lot of relation to Pierrot, in my opinion. Um, both have been cursed, obviously, again by a god or some like god, um, and their people have been sacrificed, and so they are planning to scheme to take down that person, that being, and so this is what I'm thinking right here. I mean, there's just a lot of some similarities that I've noticed right here. Um, and Piero just looking up at Conria to the gods is just a huge aura farming, and he clearly does not give a fuck. He clearly wants to just take them down, kill them. He even questions, how does one kill a god? And that's very mighty interesting right there. And then we have Colombina. Okay, this reminds me of how cool Colombina is. Okay, and it clearly is that in this whole area right here reminds me of this Honkai Impact third of a character named Sele with her final form that she has received, and it's like this beautiful, luminescent, glimmering, dazzling, like orchid field almost, and something about Columbina. She's obviously a very powerful person. Okay. And I have a good feeling that she has some kind of connections with Natland. I mean, there was these monsters that I'll place on the screen right here in Natland that have this angelic-like design, and we've only seen that in Genshin Impact in that area. And Columbina is basically well known for her, obviously her for blindfold, but obviously her wings on her back, which is very similar to those monsters that are in Natland. And so I'm very interested on how they're going to be going with this. But as you can see, like we have this huge theory going on that I've been saying, or these multiple theories on how the goddess of death, Raiden Shogun, or A, has taken huge inspirations from the gods of death about eternity and immortality and being one forever. That's literally whole A's whole shtick that she was going with in the chapter of Inazuma, and so that's something that I'm very interested in seeing on how if this is even going to be fleshed out even more. And obviously I'm very interested in the goddess of life right here. She clearly has some kind of connections with uh, uh, becoming one with a person. Uh, and well, this solves it that Piero was cursed in Conria by the goddess of death. Uh, and there's a huge scheme that's going on right here that Piero and Teresa are working together with. I'm also very interested in seeing on if there's any confirmations that we'll be getting involving with Arlecchino on how she may have some kind of relationships with or some relation to or connection to the goddess of death, because in the hands of the goddess that kind of looks like Arlecchino's that she has. Maybe the goddess of death has cursed Arlecchino's family or bloodline or just herself. And because it was said, from what I've heard and seen, I believe there was some kind of connections with Arlecchino being cursed involving with something with the praising of the moon or the belief of the moon, which the moon has correlations with the with death itself as well. And so I'm very interested in seeing how this is all going to tie together. Um, but this, video right here is a very huge lore drop, and I'm very happy to see how this is going to be continuing on, going on forward. Um, I just wish the story of Genshin Impact was even like just shown just like this, and I still have hope that they could do that. Okay. Um, but other than that, thank you again for all watching my video. This is like a smaller react and some theories that I crafted up and some stuff that I've noticed that I hope that you guys also all noticed. And if you disagree or agree, why don't you guys leave a comment down in the description? Maybe I can see on what you guys have in mind and ideas. Because I'll be honest, a lot of these theories that I'm making, you guys could probably easily be making this, or even having even better theories. Maybe even pointing out which scenes may have something for me to look at. But other than that, thank you again, and I hope you guys all have a good day.